Let's take a look at it and see if we can see anything in particular.
There's another look at Travis Pastrana. He had his problems coming into the corner, laid it out, got back on the bike and got going, but this has not been the greatest of days.
It looked like maybe he caught a little bit of that painted surface there. Started to slide on the paint because that's a little bit more slippery than the asphalt.
So it's Burkhardt, Henry, and Ward. 1, 2, 3. And Reed continues to carve his way up the field. X Games 12 will return after this message and a word from our ABC station. And Supermoto getting closer and closer to that pit stop. They're the leaders for you. Burkhardt, Henry, Ward, 1, 2, 3, just like it has been right from the start. And in fact, speaking of the start, big crash right there.
Definitely wasn't. Chad Reed did not get a good jump out of the gate, but one guy who did, the 199 coming from the outside. You see everybody else on the brakes, though. Travis thinking he could dive in there a little bit harder, and guess what? There's no knobbies on that bike. Those slicks slid right around. Travis is down, and that is a problem. You can see from on board. Oh, and multiple riders going down, sliding out. Keeping upright is key, but being out front is what it's all about.
And then this was when Kurt Nicole,
Cassidy Anderson,
and Cassidy, yeah,
getting together. Cassidy trying to triple through.
And then just a few moments ago, Travis again, this time on the pavement. That's his second time down. He started that accident coming off of the start, even though he got the whole shot. There he goes. Currently 13th, so one way or another, either through a bit of attrition in front or really good riding, he's now beginning to come forward.
He is moving forward, and I've been watching. He's been making passes in the rhythm section. Remember, Travis Pastrana will join us tonight for the Freestyle Moto X, going for gold again there.
Back at the front.
Oh!
Wow.
Beautiful. Backing it around, just driving it in.
Yeah, but you know what? We've seen this out of Mark Burkhardt before. Last year, I mean, he was creaming everybody in the AMA Light Series. And then he comes here, and we look at that interval back to second and third. But he's in 6th place last year, charging forward, looking good, and then just dropped the bike. And that's exactly what can end a ride like that.
Definitely. And you saw right there, Doug Henry was sliding around and all of a sudden hooked up. It's not unusual for a rider to hook like that high side, so Doug Henry.
And we've got somebody in the pits early. We were just about to go to Jamie Little and check on what the pit strategy was. Jamie?
That's right. Team Yamaha right now, guys, absolutely dominating from the beginning. They have 3 riders running in the top 5. Right now, this is their strategy. Mark Burkhardt, your leader, he's going to come in lap 18. Now, lap 19, they're going to bring their other 2 riders, and that's Chad Reed, of course, running in 5th. And then Doug Henry, of course, in 2nd will come in on lap 19. So they're going to have a busy pit stop there for 2 laps, guys. Tess?
Jamie, one of the real strategies down here is Jeremy McGrath. He has decided he is going to pit whenever Chad Reed doesn't. So he's behind Reed right now. They're thinking that Reed is probably going to pit on the first available opportunity. They will wait at least 1 lap before they come in because they want to get ahead of Chad Reed. Paul?
And Reed is currently 5th. McGrath right behind him, 6th, followed by Drew.
And we're still very early in this race, lap 12 of 35, and McGrath is making time up right now. So McGrath on his gun right now.
And beginning now to close on the leaders overall, just 26 seconds back. And with the pit stop properly executed and a good ride, a ride for the front is doable. He's amazing, isn't he?
He truly is, and what a competitor and just all-around good guy. How's the setup coming out of the corner? Lifts the tire for that little stutter bump that's out there. McGrath, the master of 2 wheels, looking very smooth here today. Unfortunately, not getting all the start that he wanted.
You know, and every bit of champion, for example, Indy 500 every year McGrath is going to send a handwritten note to the winner of the Indy 500. He's calm, he's casual, and he's really good.
And from Utah, you're looking at right now the bent left down handlebar. This is the rider that got together with Kurt Nicole, Cassidy Anderson. He hails from Utah, and he has been on fire in fuego in the lights class, sweeping everything this year. Only 5 days on the 450, including today.
A little multilingual there for us.
Yeah, you know, hey, that's how I do it.
Throw that in. This is the leader, though. What style.
The last lap
almost
through.
Reminds you of some of the great Grand Prix riders, like Kenny Roberts and that, when you see him come down and lay that bike over. Well, don't forget that next Sunday, the IndyCar Series returns to ABC. Just 8 points now separate Helio Castroneves and Sam Hornish Jr. in the race for the Series Championship. So don't miss live coverage of the Kentucky Indy 300 next Sunday at 3:30 on ABC. Well, right now, Mark Burkhardt will begin to have some issues with some slower riders on the course. You see them just ahead of him. Now, they will be getting the word, hopefully, that he is back there. But still, you've got to come through there with some care.
I didn't see a passing flag come out right there, the blue with the yellow stripe. So the flagger not putting out, that's Carey Hart. And when you're racing a motorcycle, I mean, normally you'll know if you're not in the race. But sometimes if you're racing with another guy, like Carey was just racing up behind the other rider, and he was nice enough just to let Mark go by, which is a very class act.
And you know, I was watching Pink up in the grandstands, and she was so calm as she, well, in fact, there she is. And she's just calmly watching it, but then something would happen and you could see her stand up and get really excited about it.
And you'll remember that Carey Hart's history, he was one of the first people for the backflip. He went for it at X Games and completely imploded himself. He was able to come back and fight off that demon, and he does have a silver medal at best trick in Freestyle Moto X.
And a total daredevil. By the way, look up at the top there. Look at number 12. Travis is moving forward. So anything is possible, though Burkhardt running in front has been the fastest the last several laps.
I was just watching that section there where Carey was going through, and you know, he's got a couple ventures going, including his Hart and Huntington Tattoo Company, and I know he's been focusing on that, but he's been focusing on racing Supermoto. This is something he really wants to do. I was talking to him about it, and right now, getting chased down. Look at that section, tripling in, stepping on, stepping off, and then tripling out. Doug Henry looking like he's still paying off the moto skills quite well there. Remember, he does race the Southwick National every year.
Henry in second place, coming up on some of the slower racers on the course. We'll look at the interval on the line as they come through. So back to Henry from Burkhardt. It's 9 seconds, and Ward's another 3 back.
Oh, and McGrath is down.
McGrath drops the bike.
This is what we're talking about. Anything can happen, especially on the dirt section. Someone slides out, someone drops the bike. You will also notice that Jeremy McGrath is running those mag wheels. Those take off about 6 pounds on the overall weight of the bike, and that's important on the rear. Spinning weight takes away horsepower. Let's see, step off, watch him go to the triple. Nails it perfectly, but it's very slick right there. And when he lands, watch the bike bounce up a little bit. The rebound comes up, unweights the bike, and he wedges, looking for the turn.
And you can see, you know, this is the guy who's the absolute master at this. If he's having trouble in the stadium, imagine what it's like for a guy who races pavement all the time. And with that, McGrath dropped down to 6th place. And let's go to Jamie.
Well, guys, they came in earlier than expected. Lap 19, Doug Henry, who was running second, was already in. They made a quick pit stop, and they are out. You can see Chad Reed. They're putting about 1 gallon of fuel in, changing that rear tire. Last year, he had a bad pit stop. It cost him the silver medal. He's back on, and Chad Reed is out.
All right, now, something we're going to have to figure out here, because Jamie suggested it was on the 19th lap. We're showing on lap 16, which would also make it early. There's supposed to be a big pit board sign out that says you can pit now.
Well, they do have the board up, I see him holding it up at the finish line.
But
There is a big
nevertheless, that's
number
an
2
early
out.
pit.
Right. Maybe they decided to change minds and not let us know. It's up to the officials. They can change anything at any time. That or Doug Henry simply went in early. Maybe he had a problem. Not sure if that's in the schedule or out of the schedule, looking at the laps we're going right now.
But what would be the governing factor? You see the board right there at the line.
So the pits are open.
The pits at least are open now.
I looked down there when we saw the Henrys there. I looked down onto the stadium floor. The board was up. So I'm assuming that is a legal pit stop within time.
Well, let's hope it is, because it's going to be devastating if it isn't. With that stop, Ward moves up into second place. Henry only dropped down to fourth place, and his teammate Burkhardt is still the leader.
One thing we're going to have to watch as those pits open up, and watch Doug Henry will be coming by where all the pits are open. Watch the blend as well as riders come out of the pit. But I don't see anybody in the pit whatsoever. So based on the fact that I haven't seen anybody else in the pits, I mean, let's find out. Jamie Little's down in the pits.
Well, Cameron, you know they organize this thing. It's something new to make the riders come in at a certain time between 18 and 20. Well, they count them down. They give them a 3 marker, a 2 marker, a 1 marker. Well, they threw out the 3 marker, indicating 3 laps to go for Henry to come in. He got confused, came in.